There is a question that has been asked many times before, but the answer is not easily understood. Why is decentralized finance so important? Why? You may have been using Uniswap and PancakeSwap with MetaMask, Trust Wallet or another wallet for a long time. But you also use Binance, Coinbase and other exchanges. What are the differences between them? Why do people use the Uniswap exchange even though it charges more for transactions? The answer lies in the logic of this business. What did Satoshi Nakamoto say in the first sentence of Bitcoin's white paper? Peer-to-peer version of electronic cash, understanding peer-to-peer, is the key here. So what does peer-to-peer mean? It's a system where parties can transfer things to each other without any intermediary. I know you've heard this a lot, but no one has explained its importance to you. But in this video you will understand it well. The concept of peer-to-peer is actually not very new. We've used it for years with Torrent, and although it caused a big problem with royalties, it was a great way for people to send files to each other without any intermediaries. Why shouldn't this also apply to money? Removing intermediaries maximized the freedom of peer-to-peer transactions and eliminated banks and even central banks. That's where DeFi comes in. It automates transactions with smart contracts built largely on Ethereum. What enables this? The Ethereum virtual machine is what enables this. Centralized exchanges like Binance are always in control of your money. Because you don't have a private key. The password to your Binance account is not the key to your money. It's your key to the extent that Binance allows it. If there's a problem with the exchange, Binance admins have the final decision. So how does DeFi give us the power? The transactions you make on DeFi contracts are instantaneous and the transaction result is reflected in your wallet. This wallet is a wallet with your private key. This way, you're in control even in a bad situation. The exception here is that the smart contract you connect your wallet to cannot fall into malicious hands. There are solutions for this risk as well. There are Layer 1 projects that do not establish a permanent connection with the smart contract. Layer 1 projects that automatically disconnect from the smart contract after a transaction, and even fully autonomous Layer 1 projects that disconnect from the software developer after they are produced. Developments like these will eventually develop the entire DeFi industry and we will see a DeFi ecosystem where there is no risk of human factors. But if DeFi is so good, why are centralized exchanges still preferred? There are 3 reasons. The first reason is that the projects that make up the DeFi ecosystem have speed problems. Under stress, their stability in terms of speed deteriorates. The second reason is that transaction fees are expensive. This is actually a valid reason. Because the fees we pay in DeFi are the fees for writing to the blockchain. Centralized exchanges charge less because they trade on paper. However, this also limits your freedom rights. The centralized exchange can refuse a transaction it doesn't want and take back your earnings. Therefore, the fees you pay in DeFi may be enough for security and stability. The third reason is liquidity issues. In the markets, the money is always where the advertising is. The centralized exchanges run ads and campaigns that attract a tremendous amount of people. Their exchange listings bring money in. That's where the largest volumes of transactions take place. And people use them for price security. It's human nature for this to happen, but the risks inherent in centralized exchanges require a careful calculation of the risk-reward ratio. Still, it won't stop the inevitable growth of the DeFi space. It is inevitable that we will see thefts and hacks in both centralized exchanges and the DeFi space. However, while DeFi can improve itself with technology to close its gaps, centralized exchanges cannot. Because they basically exist by trusting people. As users, you have to trust the exchange's employees and the law. But there is no CEO and no exchange employee who can protect you better than blockchain. So what should we do? Centralized exchanges seem to be very good and indispensable. Because they are so fast, so cheap. But is it worth sacrificing security for them? A lot of people think you can't understand this question until something bad happens to you. Like, for example, the collapse of FTX exchange. Do we really not care about security until something bad happens? There is no clear answer to this question. But we do know that in risky markets, caution is more important than profit. That's why you should try not to hold balances on centralized exchanges for long periods of time, and keep the private keys of your wallets well hidden. DeFi is very confusing. How do I learn? DeFi can be more complicated than centralized exchanges. But keep in mind that where it's easy, it's crowded. Where it's crowded, there are fewer opportunities. Cryptocurrencies on centralized exchanges are already widely recognized and their prices have skyrocketed. DeFi also gives you early access. You can find many new cryptocurrencies on DeFi exchanges that have not been listed on major exchanges before. Then, when they are listed on the big centralized exchanges, you can sell them and make a lot of money. This is how the system usually works. Projects that are listed on major centralized exchanges are projects that have already increased in price significantly. DeFi is a good ecosystem to buy early. It's always better to buy the expectations and sell the news. Do regulations make centralized exchanges safe? Many people believe that regulations will make centralized exchanges safer. But we know that cryptocurrencies are a real unknown for the world. Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, is headquartered in Malta. So if you're not trading on Binance US, a regulation in the US won't protect you. Even if we assume that all countries take steps quickly, we cannot say that the regulations are fully realized before 5 years at the earliest. Moreover, in the first phase, even the pressure of regulations may bankrupt some exchanges. It is also not possible to foresee them in advance. For these reasons, it would be better to use DeFi to a large extent in the crypto world. How do we know which DeFi apps are safe? There are some criteria for this. For example, you should check if the project team is anonymous or if their names are known. If their names are known, it is very important to look at their resumes. After looking at this, investigate how much volume and liquidity the DApp has. Even if it promises high income, a DApp with low liquidity and TVL is very risky. If you have any doubts even when you take all these into consideration, you should do a process called Revoke to remove the link between you and the contract after you make your swap transactions. There are various websites for Revoke. I will write the websites where you can revoke for some known networks in the video description. You can do it from there. DeFi interfaces are not what I want. They don't offer as much choice as centralized exchanges. I can't get used to it. What should I do? Unfortunately, at the moment, DeFi tools are quite inadequate. The movement of pairs in trading is not as fast as on centralized exchanges. However, some DeFi projects are very good at it. You can do your own research and look for the best DeFi projects. Here's a resource to help you with that. On the CoinMarketCap website, you can choose from many DEXs by clicking on exchanges in the top menu and entering the DEX section. Finally, I would like to say that DeFi is an ecosystem in line with the mission of Satoshi vision. If you like the advantages of centralized exchanges, you can take advantage of them in the forex market and the stock market. In the blockchain world, transactions should be on-chain, not on paper. This is blockchain's most fundamental difference. If we don't understand this difference, we miss the core mission of Bitcoin and the thousands of cryptocurrencies that follow it. Trading decentralized cryptocurrencies on a centralized exchange means not understanding the meaning of 13 years of progress. Stay on-chain, not off-chain.